Okay, want to take a quick minute and show you guys. I always pick up my patches as I'm shooting. I go down, take a walk, trying to find a couple. And you can tell a lot from reading your patches how your gun's doing, how the load's doing. And you can see not any real burn through spots. And you can see where the rifling gets cut into the patches. Flip it around this way. This is the side that's facing the barrel. And yeah, it's pretty even. You know, it's no burns, no tearing, no cutting. So your rifling is smooth, not really sharp. You're not your patch material is not too thin, it's not too heavy. And that's the joy to me, for muzzle loading. It's like you're reloading at the bench. You buy a gun and you work up a powder and patch and ball combination that gives you what you're looking for. If you're looking for precision, you want to use it for target work, or you're looking for power and some reasonable accuracy for hunting. You can work the load up. Some guns I've shot only in competitions. I've never really shot them for hunting. Oddly enough, the brown bess that I've got here, I've taken it hunting. And I've shot squirrels and I've shot bird using bird shot rather than using it like a shotgun. Every time I've taken that gun deer hunting, never got a deer on it. It was like a bad luck piece or whatever. I have never dropped the hammer on a deer with that gun. I kind of gave up on it. And I've taken a deer with almost every other gun I got, within reasonable calibers. Okay, you're not going to hunt a deer with a 40 caliber. One in New York, where I lived, you had to have a 45 or bigger. And I didn't hunt deer with my 45. That was a target gun. One of my 45s is just a 45 caliber, 36-inch barrel underhammer from Hopkins and Allen that I built just as a target gun. Just punching paper. It's all it's ever done all its life. Its little brother, the buggy rifle from Hopkins and Allen that I have, that's taken deer. My flintlock 50 caliber CBA Hawken, I've shot deer with that. My Lyman trade gun, even though right now it has a 36 caliber barrel on it, it has also, if I can talk today, it also has a 50 caliber barrel that's interchangeable with it, and I've dropped deer with that. And my 58 caliber Frankenstein gun is what I call it. It's a one of these days I'll bring it out. It's a 58 caliber Zouave barrel on a Springfield stock and lock. It's just a pile of parts that I've had laying around, and I had a was it a H&R uh, Springfield Stalker is what it was called. This gun made back in the 70s, and it was like a 45 caliber slug shooting muzzleloader, built like a Springfield from around the Civil War. But the barrel was destroyed on it. Somebody had short started a ball in the barrel and then fired it with the ball halfway up the barrel. So it put this big, huge bulge in it. The barrel was useless. I got rid of that barrel, and I was at a gun show one day, and I found a Zouave barrel. And I was like, I can make this work. And I put that on the gun, and the gun is actually like a carbine stock. I put the barrel on it, and it looked really stupid with this, 39 or 38-inch barrel on this little carbine stock. So I wound up cutting the barrel off, making it a 58 caliber carbine. And I used that a lot in New York for hunting deer. with that 530 grain mini ball. That was like a sledgehammer. I loved it. Took a lot of really big deer with that gun. It used to make a lot of people angry because where I hunted, I'd hunt with a muzzleloader during regular season. Everybody else is out there with their slug guns, their Remingtons and their Mossberg slug guns with scopes and rifled barrels. And I'm banging around the woods with a slap together pile of junk that just happened to shoot really well. And I went and took one of the biggest deer in the area. Made a lot of people very angry. And I loved it. You know, I loved it. So we're going to go switch over to the brown bass. So we'll be back at you in a minute. Okay, we're back. Now, you're going to see a big difference in how this gun's loaded. You saw my other gun was shooting a patched round ball. And I found with this particular gun, patched round ball didn't work all that well. Patching the bullet. So it's a slightly different method here. And some of you might even be a little squeamish at what I'm doing. But it's pretty much how it works. So, in here, I've got some little cards. Okay. Why did I do that? Well, it kind of keeps the powder where it belongs. And for the first few shots, I tend to roll the ball in this concoction of grease here, which is basically beeswax, Murphy's oil soap, and a little bit of Crisco. And just kind of keeps it soft enough. And that actually holds the ball down in and kind of lubricates the barrel. Now, you could put a card over the top. I could. But it usually doesn't work so well. Usually. So, now if you notice, I got my glasses on for this one. Because my other gun's left-handed. The lock's not in my face. This one, the lock is right in my face. Come on, get out of there. And I prime. Here's a little more. I prime this with 3F or 2F powder. And for those of you who don't know exactly what the different F's stand for, it's basically, we'll just call it fine. Okay, you got 1F, which is pretty coarse. 2 is a little finer, mostly for muskets and rifles. 3F is for pistols and small bore rifles, or in this case, priming. And 4F, which is for priming. So, let's see if I can hit anything. Ugh. You know what? I forgot my earplugs again. I'm not exactly sure what I just did. Huh. Either I'm in the black. Zoom in a little bit. Zoom back out a bit. Come on, get out of there. Get. Yeah, I'm giving it another shot. This time with my earplugs in. Now, these aren't the best bullets that I can make for this gun. Unfortunately, I don't have a really good mold for this. It's one of those cheap scissor type molds that you get from Dixie Gun Works. And the bullets aren't exactly perfectly round. But let me go back to the old way of doing this with no patch at all. This thing's like super finicky when it comes to patches. Yep, just powder in a ball. That's how I shot this thing for years. Now, I used to get my bullets from a guy over in Vestal, New York. The guy's name was Tom Henley. He was one of my mentors in shooting competitions, and he made a much more precise ball. I still have some left, but I don't use them. And well, I could find a mold for this thing, and it probably cost me over $100 right now. And I don't have a shooting competition. I'm just having fun. Okay, well, I hit the berm. I can see the dust. Low right. God, that puts a big ball in it. And guy just jerked that shot too. I can feel it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah, powder. Now, I love smooth bores. It's just so much more fun. They're easy to shoot. They're light compared to that, 62 caliber rifle. Maybe look big, but it's pretty light. And you can just shoot it all day. And you might even get good at it. Okay, that was just above the black. Now I'm zeroing in on it. Uh, I don't care. I'm having fun. Uh, Greasing the balls is kind of a trick I learned. So I can keep shooting without the barrel really fouling out on me. There we go. Come on, get out of there. Oh, I lost the buzz to my microphone. Hold on a second. I lost my little fuzzy. Come on, fuzzy, get on there. I'm going to switch this over to the right side. I'm probably hitting it with the gun and not even knowing it, so it probably sounds like hell. Yeah, this thing's got an incredibly heavy trigger on it, too. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure where that went. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, well. I'll find it when I go down there. Last shot. Ugh. Get out of here, fly. All right. Last shot. I went to the left. That's all right. It's all on paper. Holy shit, maybe I did hit the black on one of those shots. Who knows? I'm not going to show you because it's kind of embarrassing. But anyway, give me a second and we'll recap this. I thought I'd do a recap, get out of the sun for a little bit, and try to stay hydrated. I don't do what I did last time I did a video. I just want that last video I did with the 4570 severely dehydrated me. It really sucks getting old. But what are we going to take from today? Well, put 3 out of 5 on the target with the brown bass at 50 yards, which is terrible for me, but I'm going to do a little more shooting, but I'll do that off camera. I got to get used to it again. I've been neglecting my smoke poles because I've been teaching Gypsy some defensive handgun, you know, kind of stuff. She years ago when we first moved here to PA, she had an incident. And, well, we wanted to make sure she is pretty well protected, considering she works overnights too. So really close to the highway, all that kind of stuff. So I've been concentrating on handgun, um, trying to teach her everything I know, and even learning some as we go along. Um, but anyway, This is one of my passions. I love muzzleloaders. I've been shooting them for years. I started off shooting service rifle and other high power matches, and yeah, I wound up doing pretty well. I wound up getting a master's card with service rifle. You know, I was younger and it was fun. But it got to be a money game. When you're starting off with an M1 Garand and you go to a national match, M1 Garand, you have it all done over national match form, and then you switch to an M14 or an M1A. I had a Springfield Armories M1A, and that was also a natural national match dress with all the bells and whistles. Then I went up to the Colt H bar, went back to the M1A, went back to the M1 Garand, and then actually went to a Pattern 14 Enfield. Because, like I was saying in my other video, I got tired of chasing brass. So, at any rate, I got away from all that. I started shooting muzzle loaders to improve my shooting skills because you need a lot of follow through with a muzzle loader. So, the slow lock times, the slower velocities, the long barrels. If you don't have a good follow through, you'll miss every damn shot. You'll put them, all over the place. So, which happens a lot when I'm showing new people with the muzzle loaded. Yeah, you can shoot them offhand. I prefer to shoot them offhand because they tend to rock you a little bit. Um, so follow through is a very important aspect of muzzle loading, and just doing that, I wound up loving it. It actually took over. I went from cap locks down to flint locks, and I had a buddy of mine ask me, he goes, "What are you going to do next? Match locks?" Well, I thought about it. I didn't, but I thought about it. Yeah, I'm sitting over here having a cigarette, well away from all the powder and stuff, which is a smart thing to do. I'm not always the smartest cookie, smartest or sharpest tool in the shed. Uh, as you can tell, because I shoot without my glasses on, shooting a flintlock. But I've shot these guns so much, I know what guns are going to spray me in the face and what guns aren't. Brown Besses blow right back in my face. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying, getting into the lock, using it for a lock time improvement or follow through improvement, and it became this big, huge monster where it just swallowed up everything else I was doing. I For years I didn't even touch a cartridge gun. My handgun sat in cases, locked up in the closet for years because I rather shoot my muzzle loaders, and I have muzzle loading handguns too that I also shot. Um, but I just enjoyed shooting these so much that I forego ever shooting a cartridge gun again. That isn't until recently, after I retired, and I'm kind of thinking, I'm going to drag these things back out. I've been dragging them around with me for years. I'm going to drag them back out, and of course, teaching Gypsy handgun shooting has taken up a lot of my range time. But today I'm by myself. Gypsy's sleeping; she has to work tonight, so I'm out here burning some powder. I'll come home smelling like a 4th of July. She'll give me that crinkled up nose and go, "Ew, you stink." She hates the smell of black powder. She has no interest at all in this stuff. So I save it for days when she's sleeping, and I'll just come to the range. And I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the wiring they're putting in. And then days that she's sleeping, I'll come up here or the other club I belong to. And I kind of not mentioning the names of the clubs because I'm not sure if these clubs want the publicity, what little I can give them on my tiny little channel. But yeah, It's what I like to do. I like to shoot muzzle loaders. I love to ride motorcycles. Uh, I even occasionally like to have some adult beverages. Uh, Only when I'm home. I don't drink and drive. I definitely don't drink and shoot. You know, handgun and hard liquor night. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. So I hope you guys enjoyed some of this, got some ideas. Let me know how many of you guys out there actually play with muzzleloaders. You know, let me know. I'm curious. I mean, I got 161 subscribers. That's for most people. That's a joke. To me, I think it's great. I think it's great. There's at least 161 people out there that tune into my channel every once in a while, and you know, give it a little thumbs up or share the video or put a comment in. So let me know. How many of you guys shoot muzzle loaders? What kind of muzzle loaders do you shoot? Do you shoot traditional guns, inlines? Because I'm not going to turn my nose up at you if you're shooting inline. Because to me, it's all the same thing. You know, you're more comfortable with a modern gun, modern style gun, Monte Carlo stock, rather than the straight stocks like on these guns that wind up smacking your thumb into your nose because there's no real good place to put your thumb that isn't going to smack you in the face. Excuse me. So that's my video for today. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like it, hey, tell me you don't like it. Just tell me something. Anyway, you guys be safe, and we'll see you next time.